This is a very interesting movie, for a few different reasons. First of all, I'd heard some good things about it, months ago. Then I saw the trailer in the theater, and it didn't even look remotely interesting. I've also never seen a Korean movie I really liked, even highly praised ones. Like Oldboy, I don't know. I just didn't really like it that much. But I kept hearing good things about this one, so I figured I'd check it out anyway. So I pressed play and well, at first I was a bit underwhelmed. The movie didn't really look that amazing, and not much was going on. And an hour into it, I still had no idea what the plot was actually about. You're introduced to a couple of characters, the main one being this young guy, an aspiring writer, and he meets this girl he used to know, who then introduces him to another guy, a rich guy, a bit of a mysterious figure. And there's some family stuff going on in the background too, with the main guy's dad. But overall, there's not really any main driving narrative here, like a coherent plot. It's more just bits and pieces that loosely tie together. I mean, that first hour is more or less just character introductions. So yeah, I wasn't that impressed at that point, but I stuck with it. And very slowly things started to unfold, bit by bit. But the interesting thing is, the pace never really picks up. Even in that second half, it's still a very slow movie, but it didn't really bother me anymore. Once I got over that first hump, and I realized there was actually gonna be more to it. And turns out it's sort of a mystery thriller, but probably also the definition of a slow burn. It's subtle and methodical, and doesn't spoon feed you anything. And it reveals things very slowly, one at a time. But once the story really kicks in, about halfway through, it's not that difficult to figure out what's going on and where it's going. But it still keeps up the suspense and the mystery to a certain degree. You're never really sure if what you think is going on is actually going on. And another very interesting thing I noticed was, there are some beautiful shots in this too. And I mean absolutely stunning. But a lot of it isn't that good looking, especially early on. But I realized later that's probably intentional. The main character's normal everyday life is sorta dull and boring. So the movie looks kinda dull and boring too. But then the more meaningful moments look great. I think it sorta reflects his view of the world around him. And once there's something actually exciting going on in his life, everything becomes a lot more vibrant. And I thought that was very effective. And the contrast between the two different modes was very noticeable too. And there's a lot of subtle things like that in this. A lot of them. So what started out as very unimpressive turned out to actually be pretty impressive. But this is a movie that really takes its time. And you need to have patience with it. I could easily see someone shutting this off in the first hour and never getting to the good stuff. Because I really didn't like it that much either while watching it. But later in the movie, that slow and meticulous build-up makes sense. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I enjoyed it at the time. So personally, I don't know. I think I would have still preferred a slightly more condensed first half. Just because it gives you so little to work with, as far as an actual plot goes. I mean, it's sort of difficult to put into words, because pretty much everything that happens in that first half does come into play later and is a part of the story. But at the time you just don't know that, and it all seems kinda disjointed. Like, how does thing A relate to thing B, and are they even relevant? Well, yeah, they are. But that's not revealed until much later. So as I was watching it, I didn't know if I should care about these things or not. I don't know if I explained it well enough. It's a really tricky movie to talk about. But I ended up liking it quite a bit. It's a really good movie. So would I recommend it? Yeah, but you do need patience. But it also pays off in the end. So maybe check it out, maybe don't. I'm not your dad. But I am trying to sell out, so consider liking, subbing, hitting that bell and supporting me on Patreon. Because I really need that Korean penthouse apartment. And hey, why not drop a comment below or check out another review? I'd appreciate it. Thanks.